Hello and welcome to the Weekend Golf Guy podcast. I'm your host, Travis Patton. In this episode, we're going to be talking DraftKings picks for the 2019 Travelers Championship held at TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut, just a few hours away from where we're at. We're figuring out, can we get down there? Hey, listen, if you're going down there, shoot us some pictures, let us know you're going, and tag us on all your social media posts. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all those great social media outlets. Listen, before we go any further, if you like what you're hearing, you love golf like we do, go ahead and subscribe to this podcast. It's completely ad-free and will deliver you awesome content every single week. The way you can subscribe is by going to weekendgolfguy.com, clicking on our podcast page on SoundCloud. You can also find us on Stitcher, Android Store, and the Apple Store, and anywhere podcasts are popular. So give us a like, give us some downloads, and continue listening. We'll continue to feed you great content. All right, DFS picks for the Travelers Championship 2019 coming your way right now. All right, hey, welcome back. Travelers Championship 2019, TPC River Highlands. Listen, we don't cover course breakdowns, and we don't go through all of the rankings, the power rankings in DraftKings. There's like 1,000 podcasts that do that. Here's what we do at Weekend Golf Guy podcast. A little bit different. I'm going to give you 6 guys. We're going to talk just briefly. This is like a 5 to 7 minute podcast, right? So we're just going to talk about 6 guys who we think are going to perform really, really well at each tournament, right? In that week, of course. And so let's dive right into it. But listen, we've picked the winner the past 5 out of 6 weeks. I didn't have Gary Woodland in any of my lineups, which definitely hurt me in DraftKings. We still did pretty good. By our standards, made over $100. That's good. Made our money back plus some. And I think that's the goal. And if you can continue to do that at DraftKings, then I think you are ahead of the game. So listen, how do you guys make money on DraftKings? What is your strategy? Do you have a strategy, or do you go by gut feeling? Do you play the guys who continuously let you down, hoping that one day they're going to pull through and you're going to hit the mega millions of DraftKings? What's your theory behind it? Do you do lots of studying? Are you on fantasynational.com and crunching all the data, running models and all that kind of stuff? How into this are you? Share your thoughts and your experience with us on any of our social media outlets. We'd really appreciate hearing from you. Also, if you don't mind sharing your DraftKings handle, we'd love to see how you're performing this week, and we'd also love for you to follow us. My DraftKings handle is Happy If Lucky. So, hey, reach out, Facebook, Twitter, any of that, and share your handle with us. We'd love to hear from you. So let's jump right into it. If you haven't heard the lineup, it's actually a great lineup here. 2019 Travelers Championship. You got Brooks, Bryson, Patrick Reed, Jason Day, Keegan Bradley, Paul Casey, Tommy Fleetwood, Tony the Pony Finau, Floppy Phil Mickelson. And listen, I'm sure you've already heard this and you've probably listened to our other podcasts, but on the Travelers Championship website, Phil Mickelson looks like Willy Wonka. I don't know, he does. His hair, he's wearing a purple shirt. It just really struck me as very Willy Wonka-esque. So here's what we did. We took it a step further. We did a little mashup. So if you go on our Instagram, our Twitter, or our Facebook page, or you can go to weekendgolfguy.com and hit blogs, and there's a feed there, you'll see what we call Philly Wonka. It's pretty epic. It may keep you up at night, and we're not really sorry about that. Share it with your friends. Show it to your loved ones. Make them laugh. We also got Francesco Molinari, Louis Oosthuizen, Jordan Spieth, who hasn't won since 2017. Is this the week? Can he pull it together? He's starting to look like he's getting back on track. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Justin Thomas, Bubba Watson, and last but not least, a personal favorite of mine, Boo Weekley. Those are our power hitters from the field. But to be honest, I've only got a couple of them in my lineups. We're going to talk about the top 6 guys just like we promised you right now. So here we go. In our DraftKings pick, the overall winner, we think it's going to be Keegan Bradley. Probably unpopular, but that's what we think. What do you guys think? You think Keegan will play really well? Do you think he's going to miss the cut? Next, we got Emiliano Grillo. He's just one of the guys. He's my gut check guy, right? I don't know why, but I continuously pick him. he's let me down before, but I just can't seem to get him out of my lineups. I just like the way he plays. I think he's going to be a superstar in the next couple years if he just keeps working at it like he's doing right now. Adam Hadwin is our next pick. Adam Hadwin, just a good dude, played great at the Canadian Open. Obviously, I mean, he's Canadian. He played great there. He showed up at his home course, tons of pressure. Really great to watch him play at the Canadian Open. I think he's going to do well here. I think it's a course that suits his style, and that's it. I got Sung Kang and Sung Kim, both of them kind of lower level as far as a dollar value, but I think that both of them will play well on this course. And lastly, this may ruffle some feathers, but I got Brooks Koepka, and here's why. Brooks came off second place U.S. Open. He didn't win. They didn't show him in that commercial in the U.S. Open. He tweeted about that and mentioned it. He's very open with his feelings, which is kind of weird for somebody who's so quiet and reserved. But he's definitely not afraid of letting people know what he's thinking. So I think that he's going to take all of that and use it as ammunition against the field this week. Now, Brooks has been labeled as somebody who doesn't perform outside of majors. But when it's major time, he shows up in a major way, right? So I think Brooks Koepka is going to use all of that energy that he's harnessing, those feelings that he's been able to sit on the plane flight back over here to Connecticut, and I think he's going to do something this week. He is the highest valued player on DraftKings right now. I think he's at over 10K, 10.8K, and that can be tough to swallow in a lineup. So you got to go with some of those lower level guys. But I think Brooks Koepka is going to do great this week. I think he's going to be well worth his money. So if you can mix and match some of those lower level guys who you have confidence in, I think it's going to be a great week. Listen, that's all we do in this podcast. This is just quick. Listening to it, I hope you're, driving to work and just, you got 6-7 minutes of free time, maybe sitting on your lunch break. You're thinking about DraftKings. Tomorrow's the last day you can pick before, they go live on Thursday. So I hope this was helpful. Again, share your thought process, your theory on how to do all this stuff on any of our social media outlets. And thank you so much for listening to the Weekend Golf Guy podcast. I'm your host, Travis Patton. Thanks. Take care. Until next time. Have a good one.